Good morning. Ah, I'm suffering pains. I went to bed with a headache and I woke up with a headache. This is bullshit. Sleeping's supposed to fix it. So I've taken some drugs. I've loaded up paracetamol, ibuprofen, double trouble. And hopefully, within a little bit, it'll be fixed. Where am I? What am I doing? I'm on the hub for some reason. Nice. So bedtime. What's important right now? What are we doing? What's threatening? Help Fang chases leads. We do that by getting in good with Yatagan, I think it was. Because what's her name mentioned... Rabia mentioned the word on the gum. The Tamble thing. So we can focus there. Because removing the tracker is important for whatever this is happens. Or Maywick gets here. Also someone who makes money. Getting into the Greenway. Mushrooms would be good. I suppose somewhat less dire, less important, less immediate. Pretty close on helping Lem work. Or side wheel work. Side wheel means leaving, and I don't care as much about that as I did in the beginning. Have to hang out here. This guy though. What am I tracking right now? Energy after engage. So that's a pretty good way to go for that. Cool. Alrighty. We can explore here. Okay. A new day dawns. Pretty good, pretty good. that one. There's no downside. Mina is crying when Lem leaves and refuses to talk to you. The hours crawl by and you are desperate to get out when Lem finally returns. He's asleep, whispers Lem, creeping back out of the unit's tiny bedroom, sliding the door shut as he does. You are posted in a thin bar in the main room, the slate in front of you still glowing with Mina and your drawings from a cycle spent together. There's a ring, the only world Mina has known, with stick figures standing along its edge. The tall one is you. Drink? Asks Lem, boozing a warm-looking bottle of Girol from under the bar, and it's glowing amber in the fluorescent light. No. I mean, pour it at least. If you don't want it, I'll drink it later. He laughs and glugs a few fingers into the couple of metal tumblers, and sits down with you at the bar. Cheers, he offers, and you clink the metal containers together. You know, we actually have something to celebrate this time around. One gives you a sideways look. I made the assembly team on the side reel. He grins broadly. Clearly, he's been desperate to tell you all cycle. Sure. Lem holds up his drink. You did get there first, friend, I'll give you that. He looks away. Seriously though, couldn't have done it without you keeping an eye on little meanie back there. Lem shifts a little on a stool. He looks uncomfortable. How's our girl doing, Sleeper? I haven't seen much of her these days. These part cycles. Wishes it father. Lem looks away. Yeah, he says to no one in particular. The silence stretches out as Lem takes a drink, his eyes fixed on the bedroom door. You good, dude? He nods. Can't take all the credit for Mina. She isn't actually mine. He gazes into the middle distance. Pulled her off a refugee shuttle out by one of Ember's moons. The colony was falling apart for decades after Solheim collapsed, surviving on next to nothing. Eventually, some of the residents tried to make for the Eye on these decrepit old shuttles. He sloshes the drink around in his tumbler. Yo, he's got a tumbler? What's your URL? What's your at? They had no idea what they were doing. The one Mina was on decompressed halfway here. Everyone spaced. The only reason she made it was someone sealed her in a weapon locker. It was ice cold when I reached her. Purple lips. Once I picked her up, I wouldn't let go. Medics treated her with me still clinging to her. Still not sure why. He reaches over and refills his cup. Easy there, buddy. You're a dad. You got dad things to do tomorrow. You'll work tomorrow. We weren't exactly anybody's heroes, you understand. We were private military, hired in by Conway to protect their claims in the collapse. But once I got Mina, that was it. I quit. Got us dumped here. Her fam? The ones on the shuttle were dead when we arrived. Wasn't many cycles later when the colony fell too. I didn't dare take her to another grave. He looks around the decaying unit, its stained plastic plating and flickering lights. At least that's how I justify it. He sniffs. It was tiny, too small to know what she lost. I can't stop thinking about it. He rubs his eyes, dark with tiredness. What if our number doesn't come up from the drawer, Sleeper? What then? Sideville will sail off without a thought, leaving us here. What kind of life is that for her? We'll be fine. This place is alright. Sorry, I know you don't have it any better. He looks at his cup and pushes it away down the bar. This is a celebration, right? Both of us on the team now. Both of us in with a chance. Sure. Imagine, all three of us riding the side of Horizon out of here, to a new world. He looks into his glass for a moment. I think I drank this too fast. I think he drank two of them too fast. Lem stands and starts to clear the glasses into the auto wash. I need some sleep, friend. See ya. Alright then. He catches your shoulder as you turn to leave. Thank you, Sleeper. I mean it. From both of us. He pats your shoulder and you slip out into the dark of the hot walkway. It falls a little meaner in your mind. Raid. Good robot. Help a friend and have fun with Bun Bun. Alright, Rabia, what do you got? Plus tons of energy. It's pretty cool. That scrap couldn't courage. It's even cooler. Does 5 remove a negative entirely? Yes. I can drop a 4 into that. Also like to get a scrap component though. and then I didn't. But I got an energy out of it. Actually, if I get a lot of energy out of that, then I can probably focus on getting money for a couple of days. Holla, holla, get dollar. Big money. Alright. That'll do for that. Condition's full. That's full. Easy. There's a much worse dice, but we bought the reroll last week. We can give it another go. Not a huge amount better. Maybe we can do some hacking. There's this 5 over here. We get another scrap? Yeah? Nice. And we're halfway there on yet again insider. Oh! Low end. As you say your goodbyes to the other enforcers and walk back through the low end, chirping catches your attention. A quiet corridor away from the main thoroughfares. Someone has stuck a small recorder to the wall with a suit sealant tape. Written across the fluorescent tape is one word: sleeper. Get a little away from the wall, and as you do, it triggers some kind of improvised trip switch. Sleeper, Sabine's voice crackles through. I have seen you with Yadigan members. Are they holding you captive now too? High whine. I'm sorry if I have dragged you into this. Do not trust them. Something is happening within the gang. Some kind of power struggle. You cover the speaker a little, their voice too loud in the quiet corridor. I will come soon. Thanks to your efforts, I have located most of their properties. The right time. I'll see you soon. Don't give up. Remember our deal. Recording cuts out. Stare at the recorder, processing what you've just heard. Hearing Sabine's voice again opens up something inside of you. An SNARP employee. They know what I know? You struggle with a mix of concern and distrust. You throw the recorder into a nearby waste chute as you leave the corridor, still unsure who to trust, and head quietly out of the low end. Any keys around? I might be done with keys. What about this side? I don't know if I've looked at the cloud on this side. Oh, and with good reason. We're dark over here. What's going on Greenway Gate? Greenway Cipher. The entire Greenway is locked down, shrouded in a dark cloud of shifting currents. What is happening here? Let's find out. Navigator gave us that. Cipher burns away as it is slotted, the data sparking like a lit touch paper. What has been unlocked? Greenway roils beneath you like a silt-choked river. What Navigator said was true, and no one has accessed these networks since the collapse. Hunter and Killer protocols have never set foot here, never cleared out the intelligences and systems. So why then, you wonder, does it look so dark? Is it just that the bit rot has set in? The entropy of systems reducing everything to shadows and light. He watches the slotted cipher fizzles in the one open. Distorted gateway on... Huh? Oh, he watches the slotted cipher fizzles in the one open distorted gateway on this entire room of the station. It flickers and winks out, and then you are falling into the flow. A river of swirling darkness. You are spun by it, twisted by it, and lost in it. It's not that the Greenway was hiding in the darkness. It is made of darkness. It is filled by this substance, this process, this swarm. Now you are among it. You notice that a swarm is exactly what it is. 1 billion individuals moving in a flow. There is no network map here, no nodes and threads, only a storm of interchangeable points, shifting configuration endlessly. Then you see them. A figure turned away. The only bright spot in the dark river. You push closer through the storm. Oh, hi, Gardner. They are facing away. At least you think so. They are so fractured, so overgrown, that it is hard to tell. Even from this distance, you can see their flesh is moving, flowing. You watch, silent, as they stoop and reach down. In their hand is a dark shape, and with twisted fingers they press it down into the loam of data beneath them, pushing it through this trembling soil. Then they move away, go a little further, and repeat the process, as if they were sowing a field. You push forward, but somehow, despite their slow and deliberate speed, they move faster, and they quickly fade into the storm. You reach the point where they planted the object and look down. There it is. A glassy, shifting polygon. Something inside. You reach down and pick it up. It's kind of rude. Don't undo this planting. It is cold, but it thrums with energy. You look towards the path of the figure, but they are long gone. When you blink out of the cloud, back to the leaves and the dappled light of the Greenway, you hold a seed in your hand. Ooh! A real seed? Seed I can plant somewhere. No hacking. That's DLC or add-on or something. Where would you plant a seed? Probably in the commune, yeah? Or just somewhere in the Greenway? But I would have to find it first. Okay, I've got a 1 and a 2. What the hell can I do with a 1 and a 2? There's definitely some data left to find. Make some Yatagans, maybe? 1s and 2s? 1 can go there. On the Heaven just need to take 2. Nice. There's just about all of those though, so desperately running out of these to use. Although, is that a new one that spawned in, or is that already there? Keep spawning in, then I've always got something to use bad dice on. Okay. Probably could have gone for +1 in that. What is it? Engage. Got a point. A 3 and a 4 are interchangeable, so well, especially worth it. It's a 2s and a 3. Is a 3 worth rerolling on? I think it is. The average on a die is 3.5, round up to 4. Okay. Made this one worse, but this one better. I'll put that there. Although I've got some 1s and 2s. One can go here. I also have to buy food. Yeah. Okay, I think there are more spawning in as we finish them. Because then we can go to Haven offices and sell them that shit. No, only the Gato ones. Who do I sell the Haven ones to? Probably to Gato. Okay. More than they were expecting. You want even more than that? More than she was expecting. Might hold off on selling the last bits. I might need them again later. They're coming back, they're coming back. Maybe should have focused more on money the last couple of days. Emphas. Feed me, Emphas. Yeah. What's Fungus Fan? Was that the thing we had before? That's no longer there. Uh-oh, my phone's gone off. A reminder to check what the new free Epic game is. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Three points for a +2. For this, that might be good. Let's focus more on hacking than on real world actions, but real world actions are probably pretty early to keep working on. Buy 2 shipmine fragments here. That still leaves me 1 I have to find somewhere else. Ooh, and I can haggle now. Might see if we can hopefully get a 5 for that. Guarantee good outcome. This was nothing. This didn't go anywhere for me. I guess maybe you can luckily get a shipmine piece. I don't know if I trust it. Might just throw away another 60 cryo for no reason. No reason. What's this? Shipmine, keep the shipmine. Let's target. Buy a full core for 300. some money. Oh, it's an interface one. Okay. Lovely. Reroll these. Hey, that's nice. Okay. Please, can I have a discount? 60 becomes 40. Lovely. Oh, but then I gotta find another piece. Yeah, alright. Maybe just wait for them to come around again next time. 2 shipment fragments. And I've got plenty of havenage, so this is more yet again. Nice. Oh, never mind. Havenage it is. Alright, I think I'm getting into the flow of it now. Oh, 2 6s, yes. For that, let's self-repair. Yeah, I was totally wrong about self-repair. Now that we've got a solid source of scrap that doesn't cause anything, only benefits, it's pretty good. Oh well, okay, 6s. What did I want 6s with? I want 6 of this. 6s are also nice to put somewhere else. More yet again. If I have the option, I would very much like to put 6s into things where I can unlock stuff that's good. I wouldn't otherwise be able to get very easily. And this for money. Oh, I could steal random shit. I'm not opposed to stealing random shit. Let's just get a shipment fragment right off the bat. Easy. Oh. 2 mushrooms. Oh, that's also a good way to... Okay, alright. Do this twice, and then never again, because I don't want this to hit us. What was that? Shipment fragment! I think. There's 2 shipment fragments, which is crazy. Regret buying that other one now, but that means we can help out the ambergris and our sweet girl. What's her name? Second shipment. Alright. Here you go. Here you go, Ankita. You drop a huge cylinder into the mess room onto the mess room table. Ankita can't hide her excitement. You drop the shipment core onto the galley table with an emphatic bang. Ankita spins around from where she's been poring over some documents on her slate. Holy shit, Sleeper. Did you actually land a shipbind? He rushes over and hefts the huge cylinder, turning it back and forth. Well, shit, it might actually work. She smiles wider than you've ever seen. Where'd you get it? I built it. Built it? Well, well. You are full of surprises. Ankita bangs on the galley wall. Hear that, Amber? Sleeper got you a new shipmind. Sound echoes down the ship's passages. You have to admit, being in a small space with Ankita when she's this excited is a little intimidating. Ankita puts the shipmind back on the table. I'll start the process of fitting it as soon as I can. I might need your help with some of it. She heads back towards the counter to grab her slate. This isn't the only good news today either. Looks like my good karma is finally coming in. She throws the slate onto the table and spins it so you can see the screen. Take a look at this. You see a list of names and numbers. Nothing that exciting, along with what looks like a transit timetable. Found them. Thieves? Exactly. Well, the thief singular. She points at her name on the list. Or more specifically, Ashton Cade. It was his pass that was used to access Amber and slice the ship mind. I thought he might have been killed or robbed, his pass stolen, but it turns out he crossed the Founder's Gap the very next cycle. How do you know? I know some of the crew over at the ferry. Old Mercs used to run in an outfit I worked with. I saw them in the Overlook, and they mentioned they saw Ashton crossing. I checked the manifests, and there he was. Suspicious. He hasn't said a word since the theft, and anyone wanting to hide out might head to the Greenway and go to ground. She flexes. He won't get far though. There's no real docks out there, only a couple of jetties in the wastes. Going after him? Not yet. First I want to fit the ship mind, but maybe you could help me out. Sure. It's like this. I head over there, especially in Amber. He'll spot me a mile off and go underground. Find a way to slip the station, or he'll bury himself so deep in the wastes no one will ever find him. But you, Ashton doesn't know you. All I need is for you to go there and sniff around. Not at the commune, not at the stacks. You'll have gone to the edges, the margins, the wild places. That's what Ashton likes. See him? You locate him? Ping me on this. She hands you a commie piece. Seeing as this is Merc work, I'll be happy to give you Merc pay. She shifts in her seat. The thing is, I haven't got much left. So how about I tell the boys who run the ferry to give you a discount? Not so much, but once I grab this coward, I'll pay up. 200 cryo, nothing less. I've already paid for the ferry. Aw, dang. She gives you a heavy whack on the shoulder. Good, I owe you. She lifts the ship mind up onto her shoulder with a worrying ease. I'm gonna go get this fitted into Amber's core. If you get any info, any sense of where Ashton is hiding, let me know. She goes to turn and then stops. And once again, Sleeper, thank you. I appreciate it. Sure, Akita, anything. Akita stomps off into the guts of Amber with the ship mind, leaving you in the galley. You glance around, a sudden nervous energy descending at what is to come. You never thought you'd get work as a mercenary. But then again, it seems the eye is full of surprises. Ooh! Work for Rabia. Wants you to... Nope. That's the one we're on. Enter the Greenway. Find Ashton. Help I locate the crew member who betrayed her, Ashton Cade. So he would be there. This has more tracking Ashton points, and it's interface, so I might get some money. Rather than hiking around the wilderness, you can make use of your skills. Tap into the cloud and find Ashton by singles. Yes, I can do that. I can reroll these dice and get garbage. Still nothing to look at here. I'm gonna get into the Greenway or the commune or something. I want to use ones and twos on shit like this. Okay, what has... I need to find a safe task. There we go. Canteen, just get parts, get bits, get membership. Yep, that went bad, but even going bad, I still get energy and progress. That'll do. Ooh, new drive. From the commune, the Haifa commune meets the needs of its members in exchange for work. Could you find a home here? Maybe. I was just doing it because it's safe, but see what happens. You want 3 mushrooms, right, Emphas? Yes. Okay, we'll see how we go. We'll figure it out. Great! Another day well spent. I didn't get any scrap this time, so we'll be able to repair myself. Oh! Ho, ho, ho! Yes! Oh, you'll love to see it. Three 6s. I don't actually really care about that particularly. Greenway though? +3 going green. Danger, no bonus. I can use 6s right there, real easy. Bang, bang, 6, 6, done. Delicious. Okay, you find your way onto a well-kept pathway between the encampments, where carefully planted groves provide fungus and vegetables. What do we got? We got farm stacks, and the aviary, and the mushroom groves. And one of these, grow mushrooms. The aviary would be the perfect place to grow mushrooms, with some work that is. Let's look at that first then. Clear the overgrowth. Once a corporate garden for impressing guests with gene-tweaked birds, now this chamber is a massive overgrowth. You can change that. Very nice. Okay. Put away the choking vines, stop the rot, and this place can be turned back into a garden of sorts. What else we got though? Mushroom groves. +2 grove spores? Do I want grove spores? While the grove mushrooms are dangerously inconsistent, spores provide a chance to gather or study these species in an untouched form. And that'd be a 5 is pretty good. Versus get my ass 1 more mushroom for Emphas. Typically avoid it, but those with sharp eyes might find useful fruiting bodies. Yes. Damn. Okay, need to get a good result on that. Which we didn't. That will get it. Give me that mushroom. Yeah. And farm stacks. Oh, there's so much. Ooh, steel shit. Get 5 energy. Fully fill your energy bar. If you want to steal food from farmers. Because I'm kind of asshole. For 16 crow, gets some amount of food, which is only a good deal if it's 4 bars or more, because Emphas gives you 3 bars for 15. And I'm about to work on his quest, which may improve that. And you can work the stacks. Get some money, get a little bit of money. What's predictive reasoning from? That's Intuit. I cannot imagine playing the game without this. This is so helpful. Absolute game changer. No dice, so nothing there other than, hey, Emphas. Want some mushrooms? Emphas eagerly takes the bright yellow Durall caps. Seems pleased with them. I'd have to wait for him to cook. In 3 days cooking. Sick. Alright. It also looks like it means I can't buy food in 3 days, but I haven't actually needed to buy food for a while, because I've been getting it from other things. Okay, maybe we can get in closer. We gotta start working on that. On yada gun stuff. Alright, Rabia. This time you meet inside Rabia's office. Although now you've seen it, office seems like the wrong term. You find her stood in an almost bare, shadowy unit, midway through a sequence of stretchers. There are 2 low stools and a terminal in the corner. It seems that most of the space is taken up by a heavy punching bag, rubber matting, and a stack of weights. Hell yeah, Rabia. She's got a fucking robot arm and then like a plastic sheeting around it to keep it protected. That's pretty cool. When Rabia turns to meet you, you realize she is missing an arm. Yeah, I do realize that. The prosthetic she usually wears is set in a cradle near the terminal, a web of coloured wires running to it. Updates, she says. Updates, people, updates. Noticing you looking where her artificial arm usually is. Nothing to worry yourself is. Sure. Makes sense to me. I'm a sleeper. Sit, says Rabia, gesturing to the 2 diminutive stools. You both settle on the stools, Rabia crossing her legs on top and sitting straight backed. Gia told me you have been doing the rounds, collecting tires, patrolling the ward. She smiles. Some of the enforcers are impressed, and I hear you handled a few difficult circumstances. Nicely done. Gotta see for myself. Where Tambor is. See what for yourself. If I can trust you, if the stories are true, how a gang operates. I don't know what stories this means. Am I talking about what Sabine was saying? Maybe. How a gang operates. And you've learned nothing, despite all that time spent among us. Fuck! He closes her eyes for a moment. Sleeper, I do not wish to make an enemy of you. You have helped our cause already, whatever your motivations. Why do you resist us? I know that for you, life on the Eye has been a struggle. We have not been part of that. Although some of our members may not see it this way, I know you too are a refugee. She looks at you solemnly. That is why you've come to us. Sabine's busted in. Enough, Rabia. Sabine's voice cuts through the conversation. I'm tired of listening to your affected nobility. They cross the room, Rabia's baton in their hand, the end lit with sparking electricity. Rabia looks between the 2 of you. Suppose this ambush was another cooperation between you 2? She looks strangely unfazed. Nope, none of my business. Sabine pauses, thrown off by her silence. Oh shit! Rabia takes this opportunity to act. She leaps from the stool and, fainting past Sabine, grabs the baton and twists it inwards. She is by far the stronger, and she pushes Sabine to their knees, plunging the crackling end of the baton towards their chest. They freeze there, Sabine struggling to keep the crackling baton from their skin. Stop it! Then you support them? Rabia asks you, her eyes not leaving Sabine. Your loyalties are so easily swayed. I thought you were more than Yannick's attack dog, Rabia. Sabine spits back. Are you not able to think for yourself? Rabia holds the baton strong, and for a moment you think she's about to hammer it down into Sabine's chest. But after a painful wait, she throws Sabine down instead, then spins the baton in her hand, thumbing a switch and shutting it off in a single move. Rabia, what the fuck? They both look at you, each still catching their breath, as if they had forgotten about your presence. Explain what? How the moment I call, my enforcers will come down here and take them away? Rabia cracks her neck. You're lucky I didn't kill you. I would have had every right. Every right! She shouts, the anger a release of tension more than a threat. Sabine lifts himself a little, bruised from the fall. They roll onto their side and cough. Rabia gives them some space, sitting back on the stool. Sabine props himself up on their elbows and fixes Rabia with a hard stare. You have something to say? Rabia taunts. Say it. This is your final opportunity. Because after this, no coming back. What's the point? Sabine breathes heavily. She refuses to listen to criticism of the Great Yalion Project. Rabia collects herself. Speak. She folds her arms and waits to be convinced. Sabine takes a breath, organizing their thoughts. They go to start, pause, then decide on another approach. Eventually they say it. Yannick is a traitor. Rabia immediately flinches, her eyes going to her prosthetic arm, her muscles clenching. But she rides it out, more eager to prove Sabine wrong than she is to hurt them, at least for now. When I came here, from SNARP, they glance at you, glazing your reaction. It was Yannick who was one of the first to support me, to look after me. Should have known then, but I was naive and afraid. Sleeper, they take a breath. I know that I should have told you I worked for SNARP long ago, but I thought you would abandon me, and you're my final friend. What you should know is that I left SNARP because I was running for my life. I leaked documents on the Sleeper program, and the illegal and immoral practices it relied on, to the press. SNARP wanted me dead, and I fled as far as I could, to this refuge at the edge of the surrogate systems. Sabine stops to collect himself. What does this have to do with Yannick? Rabia interrupts. The Sleeper knows you're SNARP, I told them. And while you hide beneath the cover of being a whistleblower, you and I both know you worked on the Sleeper program. Yannick told me as much. Sabine's face falls. It is true. They glance at you and then away, ashamed. They lift their head. But it is Yannick, not me, who is in the pocket of SNARP. Rabia flinches again. I can prove it. He made some kind of deal to keep me here, to tie me up in debt, to lock me away. In exchange... Rabia slams her hand on the desk. Just tell us, for God's sake. In exchange for those... Sabine finishes, nodding towards Rabia's prosthetic arm in its cradle. He's been using Yadagan and forces, using you as test subjects for SNARP technology. I have the data to prove it. He has been bringing them in under the guise of stolen shipments and having me fit them, knowing each one is capturing data and sending it back to its makers. Rabia's fixed expression has started to fade. Sabine produces a slate. It's all here. Thousands of hours of usage data. Failure rates, error dumps. These are untested implants, Rabia. They could short out, fail, cause cascading failures across a person's body. And they have. Sabine suddenly looks incredibly tired. I thought the error rate in the units was down to them being stolen or modified. I tried to fix hundreds of failures in my time here. Not all of them. I stop, unable to continue. Rabia closes her eyes and breathes in. Then she opens them again. Holds out a hand to Sabine. Show me, she says. Later, much later, when you leave, Sabine is still taking Rabia through the manifest and usage data. Both of them crowded around the terminal as Sabine leads Rabia through each layer of Yannick's betrayal. Yannick! Yannicky! As you leave, Sabine catches your eye and something passes between you. Something like a thank you or a sorry, or some other expression that communicates both sadness and hope. Ooh! Okay. Gotta wait 3 days before I learn anything about Tambor, though. Alright. How many points we got? We got 2 points. Could go photosynthetic skin and a +1 in Endure. I don't really need it that much. Could also go for Icebreaker. Agent has good double data. Obsessive Haggler, all cry actions are discounted. That's not bad. That could come in handy. Or I could save it up and get some +2s. I'm gonna save it. Okay, we got a 1 and a 3. We haven't used our reroll, so we will reroll on both of these. Fuck. Okay, we got some 2s. Do have scrap already, so I can use that to repair. So, what can we hack? With 2s. There's the Havenages, which again I haven't found a way to use yet. Okay, 2s aren't as bad as they could be. What else can we throw twos in? There was a safe option up here, the commune. Work on the commune. Get some money off of this. I'm doing that again. What are this thing? Is this safe? No, it's danger. I'm also 1 point away from that, so I can finish that off. Officers, just exchanging items. Well, hang on. I don't think I need another shipment fragment. What do you pay me for that? 30! I'll take it. Could be more. Could be 50. And then I would buy the 2 from this dock as a discount and sell them here. Nope, can't do that. Again, data again. Not gonna use that just yet. Okay, what else is safe? The bar is risky. But not risky in an excessively bad way. Nah, I'd rather work on the commune, try and unlock some stuff up on the Greenway. I've got to find that spot to use the seed. Well, okay. The Avery safe? The Avery's safe. We could work on the Avery a bit. I don't know if that would actually help. Now that Empress has already got some mushrooms. Oh, the commune. Let's go for the commune. Safe, safe, safe with a +1. Great. You struggle to keep up with the demand, but another newcomer helps you along, and you both make it to end of service. Also, gotta think about putting some points in here. I'll come over here with some 5s and 6s. Cool. Oop, we fell. I don't have the easy access to new scrap components anymore, now that I've already finished the Yatagan node. Oh yeah. Love to see it. Alright. Up to the end, let's try and find this Ashton Kutcher guy. I only need one thing. So between Intuit and Interface, does one give me a better bonus than the other? Interface might give me Cryo. It didn't. But you notice a spike of activity. A vast transfer of information taking place. What is happening out there? The trail ahead extends deep into an overgrown section of the Greenway. This far end of the ring, where the long, lazy curve of the Greenway becomes the shattered landscape of the wastes, things are oddly quiet. Ahead stands a vast farm stack, broken from its axis by rust or force, and lying amongst the overgrown landscape like an ancient temple. It is stained with moss and algae, flows of green running out from its broken tanks like a frozen brackish tide. This is where Ashton is hiding, you're pretty sure. All your intuition points to the shadows beneath this collapsed superstructure. You roll the comm headset Ankita gave you in your palm. Yeah, I'm calling Ankita, I'm not fucking going alone. You slip the headset into your ear and it fizzes with static. After a few moments, you hear Ankita. Sleeper, have you located the target? A doubt enters your mind. Can you be sure he is there? Sure enough to call her, I don't care. I don't care if I'm wrong. Although, if I'm wrong, and she comes out, and he's not there, then he will see her and run away. But all my intuition is pointing toward that. And I got plenty of points in intuition. I'm not risking nothing. Copy. Hold tight until I get there. Static cuts out. The channel dead. You hold your position and watch the trail. Ahead, the stars wheel with the motion of the eye, and your mind wanders. You try to imagine what this place looked like before the collapse. All ordered rows of crops, corporate pleasure gardens, glowing farm stacks. Now it is a wilderness. A strange, overgrown biosphere bordered by the void of space. You smile. Despite everything, it seems like an improvement. Sleeper. Akita's hiss brings you out of your reverie. In the collapse stack? Yes, 100%. Okay, you seem confident. He slaps on the back. Well, there's no way I'm following that trail. If he's up there, he'll have eyes on that for sure. She glances across the landscape. Let's keep to the undergrowth. Work our way around. He heads off towards the central spine of the greenway, with you following close behind. Slow going there, where the overgrowth meets the metal wall, but it is so concealed that you can barely see the glass roof high above. Akita somehow seems to know where to go. He works her way through dense undergrowth, pushing aside branches and fronds. It is exhausting, and you desperately want to rest, but Akita shows no signs of letting up. Up ahead, there is a faint glow from the collapse stack. Akita leads you around the side to a broken tank. You both step through the opening, trying to avoid the broken glass that sits among the moss and algae. You work your way up the slatted tank, Akita setting a deliberate pace. Somewhere, water drips, and you swear you hear birdsong. Hanging plant. That's the light. Oh damn. It's too early for this. 11 AM? Ugh. Who's up at 11 AM? Honestly. Hanging plants catch the light, coating the place in a pale and sickly green. Akita reaches the edge of the tank, where it meets the central drum, and holds up a hand for you to stop. You inch forward and look over the edge. The vast drum is like a cistern, with plants growing on all sides, and wet, mossy islands at its base. It is beautiful, and for a moment you can't see anything but tones of green. Then you see the sleeper. Use. Oh wait, sleeper small s? As in person who is sleeping? In a faint circle of light, descending down through the drum, the sleeper lies slumped at an odd angle. Surrounded by crates, and beside them, on one of the mossy islands, there is an object. A cylinder set on a top. It is connected to the sleeper's head. You flinch. Are they one of the others? One of the ones that escaped with you? You squint, trying to recognize them. They are twisted, broken open, wrong. You look away. Akita doesn't look at you. He doesn't look at the sleeper. She fixes her eyes on the object. That's Amber's ship mine, she says, and you suddenly recognize the cylinder. Who's... You turn to Akita to speak, but she's already gone. She drops off the edge of the tank and lands on one of the mossy islands, her armor letting out a hiss as it absorbs the impact. Oh shit! The shot hits her shoulder piece, its ceramic armor cracking but holding as she braces into the impact. Then she launches herself forward, the now activated armor launching her across the drum. Another shot goes wide before she reaches the cover of the crates beside the sleeper. Shit, you hear the shout. Shit. You hear the shout from one of the tanks high on the far wall. Akita reaches over and wraps her hand around the thick connection between the shipmine and the sleeper. What's she doing? You better come down here or I'll rip this right out of their head, she screams at the water tanks. You shiver at the suggestion. Yeah, right. You got this handled. There's a long pause. All you can hear is the dripping of the water running down the walls of the drum. And Ashton calls out. Coming down, Akita. Don't do anything stupid, for God's sake. He appears at the far side of the drum, stepping through the shallow water, rifle raised above his head. It's Ston. Drop the gun, Akita shouts. throws it down into the moss. As you lean out to watch, you see him catch your eye, clocking your presence. What are you up to here, Ashen, you sicko? She stands, keeping her sidearm trained on his head. You've ripped my ship mine for what? Some freakish experiment? Ashton approaches and shaking hands. His eyes now fixed on the connecting bundle of wires that Ankita still has hold of. Steady, Ankita. It isn't like that. I needed the ship mind. You have to understand. They would have died without it. What are you talking about? I don't give a shit why you ripped my ship mind and crippled my ship. I should put you down right now. She tightens her grip on the connection. Typical you, Ankita. No curiosity. Ashton smiles weakly. That's why I never asked for it. For your help. You only look after yourself. He nods at you. That sleeper up there. They're just fate, right? To draw me out? Ankita sucks a breath in. You trying to give me more reasons to shoot you? I love them, Ankita. Ashton looks at the crumpled sleeper. I love them, and they were going to die. I knew you would never understand that. He starts closing the gap between himself and Ankita now, slowly, inching forward. Don't do that, Ashton. Don't do that. Let the wires go, Ankita. Let us go. If you don't get out of my way. Please. I can't let you take it, Ashton. You stole it from me. You left me for dead. He shakes her head. You think I'm going to trust you, after all that? I need it, Ankita. I need them to survive. Ashton is in reach of the sleeper now, of Ankita. I'm going to take them now, Ankita. I'm going to take the ship mind and go. Ankita loosens her grip on the connection a little. Her hand is shaking now. Stop, Ashton. He lowers the gun a little. Stop. Seeing her drop her guard, he makes his move. A blur of movement, a struggle, a shot. Another. You recoil back behind the edge as they ricochet around the inside of the drum, sound deafening you. When you crawl back to the edge, Ashton is bleeding into the water, the red and the green. Ankita is standing at the center of the drum, the severed connection in her hand. The water drips endlessly, drip after drip after drip. You force yourself to look at the broken sleeper. There's no sign of life, of humanity. It's just another broken object among the other broken objects, while all around, living things grow and thrive. Ankita finally looks back up at you, tears in her eyes. She begins to say something that might be, sorry, but you're already gone. Yeah, maybe I should intervened earlier. Maybe I should unlock the plus one for this. The good thing? I don't think that's a good thing, actually. Getting a scrap, maybe? Who needs it? Okay, got some big juicy dice. What do we need to use them on? Any other stuck things waiting? How's the yet again thing going? I think on Monday. What else is waiting? Emphasis is still waiting. Emphasis will be done tomorrow. Maybe just finish off this. Get a bit of money. You spend the shift in a flow state, linking systems to systems like thread on a loom. Your mind is a diagram of cause and effect. Your crew slowly filters out of the shipyard locker room, the bubbling chatter reducing with each group that leaves. There's excitement in the air. Haven has just made an announcement. The assembly teams are done. Sat on the locker room bench, you can feel the sidewheel out there, its hulking mass now intimately familiar to you. Over the past cycles, you have watched it grow, be assembled. You have walked through its veins and welded its bones. Now it is ready for the final stage. It will go to testing now, then enter a final process of sealing and resealing, checking and rechecking before it is deemed suitable for its generational trip. But for now, your work is done. You can't help but feel proud. Cough interrupts your thoughts. It's Lem, changing out of his work gear. Mina nowhere to be seen. He smiles. You'll be ready soon. Where's Mina? You two are fast friends, huh? She's being watched at home. Now I'm on the work team, I can afford a bit more help. He corrects himself. Was on the work team, I mean. We're all out of a job now. Not that I'm complaining. Lem comes to sit beside you on the bench. She's got to be in her best shape when she carries you, Mina, and me out of here. So confident? Why not? I figure I'm due a lucky turn by now. He rubs his hands nervously. No use in wondering what if until the draw anyway, and there's a few cycles till then. I was right, but the odds seem unlikely anyway. How many are working in the shipyard? Hundreds? 1,000? You've certainly seen more faces than you can count pass through. And are the Sealess Foundation even going to keep their promise? Out here on the Eye, you get the sense that no one will hold them to it. Why else would they be building the sidereal and surrogate system? As you think, Lem watches you with a worried look. Tell me about Sealess. Foundation? He thinks. I'm not sure I know much more than you. I hear they have a planet in mind for the sidereal. Something temperate and habitable. I think they're run by some rich folk from the core. People interested in doing things different. Different how? Lem looks into space. Well, I guess they don't like the way the core runs things. All these surrogate systems like this one, feeding resources into their silos. It's a pyramid of sorts, and we're the bottom layer. I guess Sealess wants to change that. No trust. I have no trust for Sealess. I'd rather keep my mind on the prize, so to speak. I don't much care what they are for or against, as long as they can help us get out of here. You ever been in a thunderstorm, Sleeper? A real big one? I don't know. Lem shoots you a worried look for a moment. It's something else. Sound, the smell, the rain hammering down. The whole sky stretched out and bruised, roaring and huge. Big stretch. Oh dear. That's a free one. No one had to redeem nothing for that. Place I was born, New Pembroke, a dry old rock and a conway system, had 2 seasons. One of them was as dry as bone, dusty, ugly. The other was one long storm, a side effect of the terraforming efforts, they said. High grade as well? Can do. But like, I don't even know how much is in this. 2 liters of water? This seems like more than 2 liters. 2.5 liters? Something like that. 2.2. Rain used to rattle off the roofs like bullets. It'd wash the dust away, turn the streets to rivers. It'd sing us to sleep and wake us in the morning. We'd wait half a year just to see it again. The best day was the one where the first drops fell. Some days I wake up swearing I can hear it again. I was thinking, Mina has never seen a storm. Never even felt rain. You don't know that. She's grown up here. The ring her only horizon. Always in the dark. I want to change that for her. Yeah, you will. Sure. You're the one. Yeah, you two are gonna win the ticket. And I'm gonna not. And I'm gonna be stuck here and have to figure out another way out. I see the tricks. Of course. Almost there. All these two are gonna be stuck here as well. Lem stands stretching. Best get back to the little one anyway. If the shift's done, I reckon she'll be happy to have me home for a few cycles. See you in a few for the draw? Good luck. Don't need it. He grins. Lem leaves, making you the last person in the cavernous locker room. As you sit, you think about rain, and a little hope creeps in. Is it possible? No. Would the sidereal really take you to a planet? A place with weather, with skies, with life? Nope. You get up quickly, before you can think about it anymore. It's too soon to hope. Too dangerous. There's work to be done. And construction for 6 days. Alrighty. Hey, Fourth. How you doing? What's this? Ooh. What is this? Oh, more job. Oh. 3 days for the draw. Okay. EP, it's 11 o'clock. Go to bed earlier. Bar. This tomorrow, blah blah blah. I should probably do this at some point, huh? How have I just never got around to this? It's low ender. Well, the downside is lose some cryo. Not much cryo. That's probably a better place to use a 6. Haven't gone to bed early? Uh-oh. Let me back to the Greenway again. Sex, steal food, buy food. Oh shit. Communist achievement. Communist noun. Someone who joins a commune. Wow, what is this? And that's really far along. Oh, it's just a new dorm. Sure. Is it different? -2 energy, -1 condition. This gets in the way of moving around. -2 energy, -1 condition. No, they're the same. But it's further up, and I have to keep going back and forth if I don't want to. But I'm going to keep going back and forth anyway, because I got shit to do all over the place. I mean, I can work for energy safely. Oh, this is pretty good. Free energy forever. Alright, Rico. You head down to the Haifa compound, following a blue-painted line that is labeled Laboratories. The member you were assigned to work with told you they'd asked to see you. You still have no idea what about. The line takes you to a blue door, and through to a glass-roofed chamber where a network of stems and leaves filters the sunlight coming through the ceiling, casting the whole chamber in a strange yellow-green. Peaceful, isn't it? Distracted by the green, you missed the woman standing at the lab bench, camouflaged by the dappled light. Welcome to my sanctuary, she smiles. Come, let's talk. Come, she says and beckons you closer. Who are you? Of course, my apologies. She offers a hand to shake. I'm Rico. I run the botany program at Haifa. What's Haifa? She looks surprised. You've been working on the compound for a while now. I'm surprised you don't know more. Nobody tells me nothing. She lifts a tiny sample jar. Yellow spores dance inside. Haifa lives off the land of the Greenway. It's what allows us to live like we do. No one here pays or is paid. We sleep here, we feed each other, we work for each other. Rico walks away from the bench and waves for you to follow. She opens a small door and leads you down a glass corridor surrounded by vivid green. All this, she says, gesturing at the overgrowth, it's a kind of miracle. She looks at you with bright eyes. What do you think usually happens to plants on stations like this, when they're abandoned? Fucking plants in space? They probably die. Eventually, yes, they cannot live without intervention. She leads you left at a crossroads. But here, they endured. Actually, no, they thrived. You look at the bright tendrils wrapped around the metal frames of the corridor. They look dominant, strong, like they're taking control of this place. Rico continues. Of course, Solheim tried to create a stable biosphere here, patchworking the surface with gardens and algae tanks that feed into a network of microbial reclamation systems. But the Greenway was always envisioned as an extractive, a place from which the harvest is removed and sold to those living on the station, not a closed loop. For this reason, when the collapse came, the Greenway should have gone with it. Erlen himself was so convinced of it that his first colony never even came here to try to reclaim it. The Eye instead relied on outside favours and influences, shipments from the inner system, and small-scale agriculture systems like kelp and fungal farm stacks. And yet, here we are, among growth and decay, a biosphere flourishing. When Haifa came here, we expected to find only vacuum-dried stalks and leaves, and perhaps some fungal colonies hidden in the mulch. But we found a jungle. With this, Rico hits a button on the wall, and leads you through a large pair of double doors into a huge, impossible chamber. It is every kind of green, from the pale algae tanks to the dark vines that surround them. It is wet, too, a rarity on the eye. Condensation clouds the light on the high glass roof, and gathers on the shining broad leaves of shrubs. How? That is exactly our question. Rico turns to you, visibly excited by the room you're both standing in. It doesn't make sense, but in many ways the system is stabilized. Unlike the farm stacks closer to the gap, who need input to support their meager output, this place runs itself. Perhaps Solheim managed something new here. Perhaps they tweaked the plants, or built new systems buried deep below us. Or there's a gardener in the cloud who's planting magic seeds. Perhaps their collapse caused some fortunate cascade, an unlikely chemical reaction within the biosphere. That's what I'd like you to help me find out. Me? Yes, you. These halls run deep, Sleeper, and I'm getting old. She stamps her foot on the metal grating of the walkway. Whatever is causing this is to be found in the groves deep in the Greenway. Haifa won't spare anyone for an expedition. It's too dangerous and unnecessary, they say. I can make the case, but I can't get the votes. You sleepers are hardy beings. I know that much. And you can speak to the eye, uncover its secrets in ways I never can. Do you hold out an arm so you can help us stand? Bring me samples. Spores, seeds, and blooms. I can grow them in the lab and study them. The deeper they are found, the better. Yeah, sure, here's one. Thank you, and thank you for listening. Rico leads you back out of the huge chamber and up through the passages. She's a little slower now, and stumbles on the steps. You help her where you can. It's good to have new blood in the commune, she says. Many of us have been here for a long time, and few come through. She settles back at her bench in the lab, stretching her legs. Go to leave. Come back if you find something, Sleeper, she calls. There are discoveries to be made, and you follow the blue line back up out of the compound, all the time thinking of that impossible magical green. Let's drive! Give her seeds and mushrooms and shit. Hey, here's a seed. Nope, doesn't count. Gotta be spores. Which are somewhere. In the groves. Okay. Why is it pointing here? Fine. Commune, energy, bed, wastes. Okay, alright. What's happening tomorrow? Tomorrow is Amphis, I think? Oh! That's nice. That's a lot of yellow. You love to see it. Okay. Let's get some fucking mushrooms. Here you go. Sleeper, Rico greets you without so much as looking up from her work. I have some of yours here. Come see. She beckons you over to a heavyweight-looking console, wired to a series of specimen jars, some of which contain your spores. What does it say? Spores you have here are a real cocktail, selection of types from within the groves, but I've been able to isolate a few. Taps one of the specimen jars. Here we have Tracholoma matsutake. Rico breezes through the Latin and Japanese pronunciation as it was nothing. Me too. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not guaranteed on Tracholoma. Matsutake. Definitely though. Species. Solheim, somewhat modified for use on the station. He brings up a panel on her console showing a chemical composition, all gradiented bars and obtuse acronyms. This is the composition of the Solheim modified Matsutake spores. Modified? Yes, every species on the Eye is a tweaked variant of Solheim's, of course. But that's not the point. Rico brings up another panel, identical in layout, but with wildly different colors and numbers. You see, this is what your Matsutake spores look like. They look the same. As a conclusion, yes. Rico glances at the specimen jar as if it might have something to add. They are fundamentally the same spores, but they carry different chemicals, different signals. He leans back and sighs. Solheim may have introduced their own tweaked versions in the beginning, but the groves have and still are affecting them. Affecting them how? It's hard to tell without samples of fully grown mushrooms. And herein lies our problem. He moves to another desk where two trays sit side by side. The first contains nothing but plant mulch. The second you smell before you even look at it. The pungent aroma of the fruiting Matsutake like rotting sodden overalls laced with an edge of spice. The Matsutake here are grown from Solheim stocks, pulled from a spore vault in this complex. They're delicious, by the way. Just as an aside. The empty tray is germinated with the spores you collected. No activity, no germination, nothing. But the groves are full. Yes, they are. Rico looks at you directly, and you suddenly realize how much he is enjoying this. So here's our puzzle, Sleeper. Spores from the groves won't grow in the lab. But gathering fruiting bodies from the groves is too unpredictable. We need to grow a fruiting body from some of these spores, so we can track it, understand it. In short, I need to become a mushroom farmer. Sure. Actually, I already started. Well, an eager mycologist. I'd never have guessed. I assume you set yourself up in the aviary? I've been eyeing that place up for its proximity to the groves. Bring me whatever grows, not just Matsutake. There's more than a couple of variants in there, so I'll need plenty of samples. She plucks the Matsutake cap from the tray. These little things are reflections of their conditions. Their smell, their taste, their chemistry. It all derives from the conditions of their growth. Smells the cap. Enough of these and we'll have a picture of what is happening here, of the ways in which this biosphere is modifying itself, or being modified, whichever the case may be. Rika pops the Matsutake cap into her mouth, taking you by surprise. And don't worry, Sleeper, she says while softly chewing. If this turns out to be a dead end, I'll make sure that not a single mushroom will go to waste. Okay, so. Aviary. Put a lot of points in that. You know, we could upgrade a 3. I want to upgrade a 3. We'll keep it for when we need it. See if we need something in particular. Harvey is not yet. Emphas is yet. Emphas is preparing the Geralt caps. He has had to heavily adapt his recipe, it says, but the smell is already incredible. It emanates from a strange purplish white bowl you have never seen before, and he is slicing it finely. He brushes and slices the mushrooms, and then places them in the wok with the sliced bulb and the oil. They caramelize there, in that well-worn crucible. He adds liquids, transparent and opaque, and then turns down the heat. A sprinkle of leaves is the final touch. We have a moment, Sleeper, he smiles. You have a story? Something in the scent of the food gives you a feeling of nostalgia, something distant and melancholic. It seems like the story should match that feeling somehow, and maybe you will feel better for telling it. All your oldest memories. You start by explaining that when you are emulated from a person, many of your memories are left behind. Perhaps it is an intentional part of the process, a way of keeping sleepers ignorant and malleable, or perhaps it is a side effect of the imperfect emulation. You admit that you don't really know. What you do know is that some memories survive, and that on occasion they come back to you, like shadows passing overhead. You detail one recurring memory. which, despite returning to you with enough regularity for you to think it familiar, always fades as quickly as it leaves, as it fades as quickly as it arrives. You struggle to explain the feeling of being whole for a moment that comes with this memory, and then how that wholeness slips away to leave you feeling like you have forgotten something important, but just can't bring it to mind. Emphas nods throughout, cooking as he does with deft and skillful movements. You start to trail off when you realize you can't find the words to explain how the memories you do have feel like both yours and someone else's at the same time, and how that always fills you with a certain sadness. The sadness of remaining forever unknown, even to yourself. Emphas finishes cooking and meets your eye. I'm sorry, Sleeper, for your troubles. He puts the wok to one side. I appreciate you sharing with me. He smiles. Hope it lightens you a little. He passes you a bowl and heaps the girolles into it, a yellow color mixing with the pale sauce and the poils and blooms. Eat. The dish is delicious, filling. It warms you as you eat in a way you weren't even sure your body could be warmed. It is a small mercy, you think, that Atanap left you this pleasure. Many of the features of frames are there to simulate human experience. You know that much. Emulated minds cannot be rewired, so the need for embodied experience must be met. That is why you breathe, even when you do not need air. Without that simulation, the sensation of drowning would be unbearable. Food serves another purpose. Your frame is able to metabolize it, to produce energy from the raw material. Vitamins and minerals are excess, of course. Your frame only needs raw power. So much is wasted. And yet, while you eat this food, and feel that warmth, nothing feels wasted. It all means something to you. As you finish, Emphas takes the bowl, the last of his cleaning. He smiles at you, and neither of you feel the need to say anything more. Instead, you simply exchange nods, and walk your separate ways back into the Bright Market, somehow changed. Lovely. Oh, I need to find more mushrooms. I need to go grow some mushrooms. Okay, now that's actually important to me. Tomorrow, Rabia and Sabine will hopefully tell me about Tambor, because I gotta find Fang ASAP. This dickhead is on the way. Shipyard in 2 days. I think the play is head up and focus on growing mushrooms. At least until tomorrow. Can I just get rid of this one somehow? Well, hang on, what kind of mushrooms do they want? Don't rolls. Okay, maybe I'll end up with some extras. No rush. Emphas needs Matsutake. I can grow some. Help with his experiments. That is going to be my focus for now. There's nothing else I can really work on just yet. So, the aviary. Let's do it. I can just put all 3 of these right into there and be done with it. Although, yeah, maybe I should have put the point into Endure. 3 and a 4 are the same. It's safe. May as well roll it. Might get lucky. Nope. That's fine. Not really a downside. Having found a scrap would be lovely. Could I perhaps buy a scrap? A crumb of scrap? No, they're not here. Okay. I think I'm going to be losing a dice tomorrow. Bummer. Yep. Okay. 6532. Yatagan. As you enter Rabia's office, you hear voices. Is that Sabine? You push open the door. Sleeper, what good timing. Rabia calls out to you as you enter. I wanted to introduce you to someone. Uh-oh. Who's this? Please don't be Yannick. Oh, it's Yannick. The man is standing at the center of the room, speaking quietly with Rabia. He turns as you come in. Meet Yannick. Damn, he's got a sick fit though. Sleeper, he nods. Been hearing good things from Ravi. He smiles an easy smile. Nice to meet you. Likewise, likewise. He waves a ringed hand. Now, Ravi, where were we? Actually, Rabia places a hand on your shoulder. The sleeper was what I wanted to talk to you about. He doesn't spare you a look. What is going on? What's going on here? Well, okay then. Yannick tucks his hands into his pockets. Go on. I'd like to recommend them to your ward. A tiny pause. They have shown themselves to be a capable ally here on the spoke side, but we have more than enough to run our territories. I hear the main block is proving more difficult. Yannick leans forward slowly. It's a mess, Ravi. He waits, his tinted glasses shimmering despite the lack of light in the unit. I can use them, he suddenly decides. Ravi smiles. Good to hear. I can immediately... Yannick cuts her off with a raised hand. 1 second. He steps one surprisingly light step closer to you. You eager to work, Sleeper? What kind of work? A question. Yannick lowers his head and raises it again, as if he dropped something. Nothing new for you, he answers, not quite looking at you. You don't follow. What's he saying? That concludes it, Yannick pronounces. Sleeper can come work in the ward, anytime they like. You shoot Rabia a confused look. Rabia finally glances at you for a moment, but it's so fast you almost miss it. Good. I know you'll be happy with their work, Yan. Yannick reaches out and squeezes her shoulder. Sure, Ravi, he says. Now please, he says, turning to face you. Let us old friends get back to it. He guides Rabia away, leaving you standing alone. You look to Rabia, but she is deep in conversation, and so, stunned and confused, you leave. Okay. Set me up to be a robot on the inside? Expose Yannick. If Sabina's right, Yannick has been working with SNR behind Yardigan's back. Time to find out the truth. Yeah. Sure, okay. Yeah, that's a good thing to put points in. Lots of money though. Oh yes, baby. Okay, maybe just YOLO do this all right now today and job done. The massive block at the center of the low end is made up of layers and layers of units. Patrolling this vertical city is a challenge. Factories, restaurants, surgeries, schools, the layers of the block are rich with stories and problems to solve. You're starting to learn them all. It's just that easy. You almost laugh when you see it. The same small recorder stuck to a different wall this time. Written across the fluorescent tape is that familiar word, Sleeper. You grab it quickly. Sabine, you can't just leave these lying around. Anyone can find these. Rabia says sorry. Sabine's voice sparks up once again. She says she didn't have time to brief you before setting up with the old man. I'm sure you've got the play by now. Earn his trust, work the block, then we need you to get into his office. It's risky, but obviously you're the only one of us he doesn't already know. Either way, we need to locate the link to SNUP. You hear a shout in the background of the recording. Rabia says be careful. Sabine continues. The data suggests there's some relay, processing the implant data and sending it to SNUP, but we can't lock down its position. Either he's moving it, or it's moving itself, or it is rerouting through other relays. We can't understand it. Maybe you can find some details on it in his office. Once he trusts you, you should be able to get close enough to get into the office. You'll only get one shot. Recording, oops, creaks and whines. That's the final piece of the puzzle to end this. A pause. Good luck, Sleeper. I'm sorry too. Be safe. The recording clicks off, leaving you in silence. You pocket the recorder, just in case, and walk away. Looks like it is up to you. Danger. Intuit. I'm gonna wait until I get a 5 for that. Although, Intuit, I might be able to put a +2 into it if I need to. Yep. That's the technology. Okay, no scrap still. Also, I never really did this. Probably some stuff I'm missing that would be cool to have. But we need 4 dice, at least, in there to unlock. Alright. Shipyard tomorrow. Oh shit. Nikita's away, but coming back tomorrow. Well, in that case, I'll probably just go to sleep here. A waste is the way to get scrap, but I'd have to put points into Endure. And then it's a danger thing. That might actually be worth it. 2 points in Endure. The sunbathe problem isn't gonna help because Thrill Seeker is keeping me topped up. And I can just work in the commune. The +1 on that would let me do that. But also give me some other +1s in Endure that wouldn't hurt. Yeah, alright. Bedtime. Ooh, what's this? Oh, the sunbathe, yeah. Yep, just get energy for a dice. Pretty good. Alright. Nikita's here. You spot Nikita on the track to the farm stack. She has a box on her shoulder and is working her way down the slope. She sees you as she approaches. Neither of you speak for a moment. She looks tired, pale. Her hair is tangled and clumps of dirt cling to her armor. You both eye each other. Nikita. She holds up her hand. Sleeper. She takes a deep breath. I'm sorry for what happened. Truly I am. I'm sorry you ended up in the middle of this when all you have to show when all you have shown me is kindness. She rubs her face. I'm sorry. Don't worry about it. You good, dude? She nods, then looks up at the stars. I've never... Thank you. Nikita shifts the weight from the box on her shoulder. I've been preparing for... Look. Can you come with me? It's easier if... If what? You see it. It's just down the way. Nikita leads on down the dirt path between the pillars. There is a wind passing through the greenway, a quirk of the air currents the biosphere maintains, and it ruffles the leaves softly. The sound makes the silence more obvious, more complete. You try not to think of the last time you were here. You've been trying not to think of it for the past few cycles. The image of the sleeper, sprawled and twisted open, connected to the ship mind, has been hard to forget. You realize Nikita is leading you back there, back into the drum at the center of the stack. You pause, trembling a little, at the threshold. She turns. What are you doing? She looks at you with empty eyes. What needs to be done? You stand on the threshold and look up at the tanks, green and wet, some glowing with flickering grow lamps. You look down at Ankita, suddenly so small under this hulking ruin, the smallest she has ever looked. She places the box down. Okay, follow. You follow Ankita into the stack through a low tank, entering the drum at ground level. It is just as beautiful as you remember, but it barely touches you. Instead, you check the apertures of the tanks for the glint of a weapon, or a shadow among the moss. Ankita stops and you look down. The mossy island at the center of the tank is clear now, the equipment cleared away. In its place is a mound of dirt, loosely covered with moss. Ashland's rifle stands straight, half buried in the dirt at the grave's head. I buried them together, Ankita says without turning. You both stand there in silence for a little while. You think of questions you could ask, about Ashton, about the sleeper. And I don't. I do. What's up with that sleeper? Is the sleeper dead? She takes a moment to respond, and for a moment you think she won't, but then the words come gushing out. Their body was long dead, that much was obvious. After you left, I checked them, but there was nothing. No signal, no function. The ship mind was the same. Dead. I don't know if Ashton's plan would have been worked. He seemed desperate, but that doesn't mean it wasn't. She pauses, unsure how to continue. I don't think he was lying. You have to understand. I've had crew members double-cross me, undercut me, rat me out. That's the business. He wasn't a good person. None of us in this job are, and this is how we die, alone. I'm sorry they had to die too. She stops, not sure of what to add. It seems like she's reaching for something, but she can't quite get there. You feel that gap between you, and as you do, it widens. The water drips, the moss trembles. You both stand in silence for a while longer. You both feel it. Life creeping back in, the silence ending. Ankita shifts her weight and then starts to walk out. You follow her, suddenly eager to be back out in the open space of the Greenway, to be away from this place forever. You stand outside and breathe the fresh air. You stare at the green leaves and the stars wheeling above them. That's it, says Ankita, from somewhere behind you. You try to think of something to say, but can't. Ankita puts a hand on your shoulder. You turn back to her. At least take this. She forces a handful of cryo-chits into your hands. It's what I owe. She looks at you desperately. You look down at the metal bars. Ugly little things, you think. Yeah, give me that money. You take the chits and turn without saying a word. You continue up the track and she does not follow. Ah. As you walk up the rise, the wind picks up and the leaves shudder. You walk faster, trying to outpace your anger. The chits are heavy in your pockets, and you hate them for reminding you of how little life is worth. $200. The bad end. Find an old crewmate at the edge of the rim. Oof. I'm not so principled as to not take $200 though. Here we go. Lemon Mina, worker and daughter. Did y'all win? Are you winning? The crowds have already gathered by the time you get to the shipyard. Because Ankita was taken me to a funeral. And you recognize faces among them, people you have worked alongside on the side reel. Sidereal. The intervening cycles have turned their excitement into anxiety, and few of them smile at you. Instead, the nervous energy of the crowd fills the space, creating a feedback loop of growing tension. You pick out Lemon Mina and work your way over to them, pushing through the crowd. He silently raises his eyebrows at you, his anxiety obvious, but Mina flashes you a huge smile, unaware of the tension. "Robot!" she shouts, reaching out to you. "Hi, Mina." Hug Mina. She gratefully accepts your hug, leaning against your chest, and Lem smiles, seemingly glad to share the weight of Mina for a moment. Quite the turnout, huh? Lem glances around, pulling Mina close. I don't think patience is one of this crowd's strengths. Oh dear. I should get an energy drink. A Monster. But I won't. A coffee? That'd be nice. But I'm busy. We've got work to do. The sound of an argument towards the back catches your and Lem's attention. He is putting it lightly. This place seems set to explode. This isn't good. Lem doesn't dare answer, but the look in his eyes suggests she agrees. This is Aster Enghart of the Sealers Foundation. The announcement echoes from the speakers at the shipyard entrance, and shouts of quiet rapidly follow. Space Jam, a Monstar? I'm wearing a Space Jam hoodie right now. Doesn't have any Monstars on it. It's only got the Looney Tunes. Doesn't even have your boy. Who was it? Michael Jordan? Doesn't even have Michael Jordan on it. Bad hoodie. I'm sorry I can't be there to meet you all, and thank you, on behalf of Sandre Sealis, for the work you have done on the Sidewalk Horizon. Most of the crowd strains to see Ash's face, but the small display shows only a ghostly white figure, smudged and unclear. Sandre wanted me to pass on her personal thanks for your commitment to and belief in the Sealers Foundation's mission. We chose the Eye for this project because we knew that we would find like-minded individuals there, here, especially among the ranks of the venerable Havenage Association. Unlike most of the Corps, we neither believe Erlen's Eye to be a threat or a rogue state, but instead an embryo for the formation of a new, decentralized social structure, one where each citizen might be the master of their own destiny. A ripple of impatience runs through the crowd. They didn't come here for a sermon. We were all pioneers, just like those Corps citizens who the Sidereal Horizon will carry in cryosleep to the planet that will become the Foundation's first frontier world, Sealus One. At the mention of the destination world, excited conversations break out among the workers. There, our citizens will be able to create their own innovative, bottom-up economic order, aligned to the principles set down by Sandre Sealis herself. Freedom, resilience, and self-sustenance. This is all thanks to your tireless efforts in the Havenage Yards. Bye. Thanks. See ya. As a reward for those efforts, you may know that we are offering a select group the opportunity to join the caretakers of this vision, the staff of the Sidereal Horizon who will maintain the vessel during its multi-decade transit through interstellar space. Lem turns to you, his eyes bright. This is it. Hold on. You don't get to be part of the cryosleep crew? You have to be the janitors and doctors and things taking care of the people sleeping? Taking care of the ship as it goes? That doesn't sound nice. This draw has been performed at random by the central AIs of the Foundation and is final and binding. Please note, only licensed contractors of the Foundation are eligible for this draw. I know you have all been eagerly awaiting this day, and without further delay, I will now read the Sealess identification numbers of those chosen for this great honor. Any of us licensed contractors? A murmur runs through the crowd. Sealess identification numbers. Licensed contractors? We've never even heard the term mentioned. Is this something you were supposed to be assigned? You glance at Lem. His eyes are fixed forward, wide and shimmering. All around you, people are speaking in hushed tones like a rising wave. Esther starts reading out sequences of numbers and letters, and panic begins to set in. No one seems to know what is happening. Somewhere near the front of the crowd, someone shouts in celebration, and everyone pushes forward. I'll push forward. The crowd heaves like an ocean, slowly surging towards the shipyard. Someone throws something at the entrance, and it rattles against the shipyard doors. You see, for the first time, Havenage security stood on either side, scared, arguing between themselves. You feel the anger rising in the crowd. Let's go. He doesn't move. They might call out names. I can't... Mina tugs at his dog tags. It's not happening. Lem blinks rapidly, and then turns to you. He opens and closes his mouth and looks down at Mina. He sees the fear in her eyes and understands. It's time to go. You lead Lem and Mina out, shoving people aside. As you do, you hear the sound of scuffles emerging from the front of the crowd, of metal canisters bouncing off the shipyard walls. You keep your head down and walk away, the sound of Aster reading off the ciphers echoing above the chaos like some strange mantra. When you turn to Lem, there are tear tracks running down his cheeks, and Mina is sniffling into his jacket. You feel the sadness rising in you too. They screwed you. Screwed all of you. You're never even on the list. The feeling is as unpleasant as it is familiar. Let's start a riot! Yeah, let's fucking rip the ship apart. You stare ahead into the tunnel as the security sirens sound out, a signal for the coming violence. I failed! Aww. I got fucking punked. That was never an option. Okay, these guys are back. Get some money. I'm good for money now. Thanks, Akita. For a while, at least. They're away for ages. A stabilizer will cost 80. I'll get one of those later. Sweet boy. Mwah. Want some scrap actually? See if we can find work them. Having a bad time for 3 days. Yannick's office. Yeah, let's do this. So that's 6 in there. And find that relay. Spot the countermeasure on the drawer moments before you touch it. This has to be it, but you can't rush it. You look at the countermeasure on the drawer. It looks like some kind of shock trap. If you'd grabbed the drawer, you'd likely have thousands of volts running through your system right now. You wince. Once you find the anchor points, it comes away easily enough. You prise it from the drawer quickly and quietly, then listen for footsteps in the corridor outside. Nothing. All clear for now. You slide the drawer open, looking for other countermeasures that might be inside, expecting to see a chunk of tech, a relay. But as you slip it open, all you see is a handful of wires and an empty implant cradle. Is this some kind of mistake? You can't find it because it's in him. He's got it implanted. Some kind of mistake? You freeze for a moment, unsure of what to do next. Why keep an implant cradle so carefully guarded? You remember Yannick having an implant, a small plate on the side of his head, just above his ear. You assumed it was for hearing or vision. The shimmering glasses of his come back to you in your memory. His strange movements, his speech. You look again at the cradle, and there it is, printed on the frame. Proprietary technology, property of SNARP. Rabia said the relay moved, but they couldn't get a fix on it. What if Yannick was the relay? Thought hits you like a shock. Yannick with a remote relay implanted in his head, networked to every single implanted enforcer in the low end. A shudder runs through you. Is he even in control? Or has SNARP wormed its way into the man? Could he even be considered separate from the corporation itself? You think of your own legal status as proprietary technology, a puppet with cut strings. Time to cut Yannick's strings then. You reach around inside the cradle and find it, a remote connection, a tiny bead of a transmitter, likely controlling the link to SNARP. There it is. You pause for a moment, then you squeeze it, snap it from the frame and it crumples, sparks and dies. It takes a moment before the shouts come, before the scream, and you're already on your way out, down the corridor, down through the unit that serves as the lobby to Yannick's office. Then out to the walkway where Yannick lies still, and forces gathered around him bemused. Approach. You push through the crowd and there he is, still, crumpled. You arrange him a little, lie him down properly, feeling how thin his body is under his suit. You wonder how long he has been like this, a puppet for SNARP. With the connection cut, nothing remains but his body, which means that Yannick the man was gone a long time ago before now. You place a hand on his chest. You are sorry for him, but it is done now. And you did not kill this man. You've seen enough. The connection is cut, and whatever Yannick was, or had become, is gone. Your anger is a hard core in your chest, and all of it is focused on SNARP. Ooh! Achievement unlocked, remote control, stop the signal. Roby's office, what was that, 4 days? Okay, you know what? I think maybe I've been fucking up this entire time. Maybe Tambor is just here in the low end and I could have unlocked it cycles and cycles and cycles ago. So, let's go gambling. Well, no, hold off on that. Do it at the end of the day. Oh, what's this? Oh, let's have a look. Mingji Express. Noodle factory and delivery. Express delivery, I can send out some noodles or gain energy from noodle manufacture. Wingy has a kelp stack in his basement, and he makes noodles from the seaweed. He doesn't pay much, but he'll feed anyone who does the shift. There we go. Okay. God damn it. Yep. All right. Yep, that's working. So, just unlock a thing here. Build a home. There's a derelict unit in the low end that remains unclaimed. With lots of scrap and little work, it could be yours. Oh. Why? Interesting. Maybe. There's also a caster over here. Curious data. Oh! Data fence! I can sell my data. If I need to. If I want to. I probably should. Tamble. Hey Fang. You've been here this whole time? I'm so sorry. Hand in the gum box. You feel stupid, but the penguin says take my Tamble. This is the only Tamble you can find. I do feel stupid. Fucking... How many cycles has it been since I got this damn thing? Tracking Havenage, and the Yatagan Enforcer base here has been paying low end for information. Yeah, there we go. That's how I can use the Havenage data. Tableau room. High stakes, big money. Not with the two, I won't. Alright. Hey, Fang. Can you get this fucking tracker out of me? Hand the gun box. Waitress looks at you with suspicion as you hand over the box. Is this the right place? As you go to leave the Tambo tea house, a hand falls on your shoulder. Sleeper, Fang hisses from behind you. How'd you find me? The penguin. Penguin, what do you... I think his name. Oh, do you mean... He mum's throwing gum in his mouth. That wasn't meant for you specifically, but... Look, it doesn't matter. Come, let's sit. Fang guides you down a set of stairs, to one of the Tambo's lower levels. The tea house is stacked with curved mezzanines, all connected by a central atrium. The levels are filled with makeshift booths and bars, and conversation bounces busily off the metal walls. Fang sees you looking around. This place used to be a fuel tanker's main drum, hence the name. The tea house part is a bit of a misnomer though. You can get anything the eye offers from this place, but real tea isn't exactly readily available. Picks a booth. It's self-fashioned from some old salvage tank or tank container, lined with spongy insulation foam, and collapses into it. He looks around furtively. Don't suppose you've seen any Havenage types? They don't usually come out this far. And are you? Ha! Not anymore, I'm afraid. Suspended without appeal. Turns out hardened to someone's ear. He grins. Doesn't bother me, though. It shows we hit a nerve back there. He picks a scrappy, hand-scrawled menu from the table and tosses it over. What are you drinking? What's the plan? Plan. Let's order first. Fang, get this fucking tracker out of me! Fang is right. The menu is ridiculous. There's at least 10 different infusions, most of which you can't make out, but the paper is dominated by an extensive complement of esoteric alcohols and cocktails. Black tea is listed, without a price, as a seasonal specialty. So you ran into Harden? Was he pissed? Fang doesn't wait for an answer. That snake is so self-righteous he might actually believe that Erlen would approve of this meritocratic bullshit. He taps on the table. If Havenage was like it should be, like it was founded to be, they would have shouted him down at any council meeting he dared to mention true citizens. He sighs. But I guess his kind run the place now. A young woman with a vine tattoo sneaking up her arm turns up at the booth, slate in hand. Your order? You skim the menu, your eyes glazing over. Time to pick something. Sambar Arak? Fang raises an eyebrow as she notes it. And you... He begins, looking to Feng, but when she sees him, she suddenly stops. What the? You're supposed to be working! This is your shift! He grins sheepishly. Stay out of it. This business. Look, Jenna, let's just say this is my break. My friend here has been through a lot. Jenna gives you a look like a hard vacuum. 2 minutes, says Jenna, pointing at Feng. None because I don't want to get dragged into whatever this is. He gestures at the table and walks off. What? Feng stretches out in the booth. You know how it is. We all have to eat. Plus, he leans in. This is the best place around to look to find a person you might be looking for. What? Remember that web of connections that Harden pinged the moment we confronted him? Those are his collaborators. And if we want to understand what a Solheim executive might be getting up to in the eye, those are the people we have to find. Feng is almost whispering now. There's a couple of them I suspect are in the low end. And well, almost everyone in the low end comes through this place at one time or another. He brings a modified slate onto the table. I've set this up so that when anyone with the network signature I'm looking for comes into close proximity, it'll mark them. Once they're marked, we can break through their access protocols and get at the good stuff inside. We just have to find them first. Hence me moonlighting as a waiter. Suddenly a smile goes across his face. Wait, I have an idea. Oh no. Look, I can't cover enough of the low end on my own, and so far I've had no matches in this place. With 2 of us, we can cover more ground. How? Well, Feng's a hangdog look. We need to get you out and about in the low end, in close proximity to as many people in the residences as possible. And it turns out my friend Min Gi needs some help with deliveries. Is it an express? So you already know him. Perfect. Feng places a tiny receiver on the table. This connects to my slate and runs the same marking protocol if you get near any of our targets. So what you have to do is take some delivery shifts for old Min Gi, and soon enough, we'll have the place covered. Bang. Don't give me that. You think I like working here? And I thought we could use the tips. We're in this together, right? Are we? Get this fucking tracker out of me. Yes. You think Harden is happy to have you wandering around the place? He might have let you wander off for now, but I'm sure he has his eye on you. This is on you too. Feng slips his slate back under the clothes. Just head on up to Min Gi Express, take a delivery shift, and we'll see what he shakes up. You manage to find anyone and extract any data? Bring it right down here to me. They have me on double shifts, so it shouldn't be hard to find. Jenna walks past, carrying a tray of drinks, and sharply catches Feng's eye. I don't think she's bringing your drink, he stands. I think it's time we call this meeting to a close. You grab the receiver from the table and slip it into a pocket. See you soon, Sleeper. Stay safe, Feng adds, before turning and walking off towards the bar, whistling as he does. Okay, motherfucker. Nice. That went great. I'm gonna leave it here, I think. Oh, can I save it? Yes. 19 seconds. That's what I save. That'll be enough for this bit of the stream. Instead of just going straight into Bayonetta, I'm gonna take a short break. Go have something to eat. Back soon. Like, maybe 12:30? 12:45? I don't know. A little bit later. Ciao.